Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then you won't know that my name is Liz and I post 4 beauty related videos a week. If that's the kind of content you like, then please subscribe to me because I would be really grateful for that. Now, in this video, I'm doing a week of palettes. So I don't know when this is going to go up, but as soon as this video is up, that means there's a whole week of palette videos, which my palette collection video. So I have 2 Alex drawers, 5 towers full of palettes, and then 2 small drawers, so that's 12 drawers full of palettes. So I'm hoping I can do this in like a 4-part series, and we're going to start off today with Primark because there's 2 drawers worth of Primark. And if this is the type of video, then stick around and I'm just going to go in depth into each palette. It might be a long video, so maybe get a snack, and yeah, I will see you soon. So this is the first drawer of all my Primark palettes. I have 2 drawers like I just said, and yeah, I'm just going to show you all of them and open them up so you can see them. So this is the Smolder palette. As you can see, there's a lot of cool tones in there, some nice neutrals, and I love this palette because it's very pigmented. This is the Smoky. Again, it's very similar to the Smolder palette, except there is more khakis, browns, burgundies in there. Then we have Laid Bare, which is one of my favourites because it's very like neutral with pops of pink in there, and I feel like you can get a lot out of that. This is the Bronze palette. This is a very old palette. It's one of the, I think it was one of the first ones I bought, and do you know what? This was like the one that made me believe how pigmented Primark palettes really are, and this was really pigmented. Then we got Fearless, and Fearless, I've never actually tried this palette, and it's meant to be one of those MAC dupes, and if you want me to do any of these palettes reviewed or testing videos, let me know and I will be sure to do that. Then we got Girl Boss. Again, this is another one that's meant to be similar to the MAC palettes that came out, I think, not last year but the year before. This is the Island Escape palette, and it was a palette that I actually did a review on that I absolutely love, especially this blue shade here. It was a really nice pop of colour. Then we have Violet Mist, which I haven't done a video on just yet, but I did hope that there'd be more purples in here. But there's a lot of cool neutral tones in this palette. I just wish there was more purples. Then we have Sweet Dreams, and this is like a very fun palette. It's very like unicorn-esque, and it's got lovely, let me just take the slip of paper off. It's got like a lovely, some lovely pastel colours in here, which I absolutely adore. But I haven't used this palette just yet, and if you want me to, again, just let me know. This next palette is Find Your Fire, and I love this palette colour layout. Like, this is me. It's more like your berry tones. You've got these 2 colours here. You've got a nice gold for your inner corner. You could use that as your inner corner colour as well. These colours are colours that I absolutely adore, and again, I need to do a video on this palette. Then we've got Velvet Cherry, which is a palette I have just done a video on. It's my I Miss Primark makeup tutorial, and I use this palette and I absolutely adore this palette. This is a very good autumn palette. If you hear a lot of banging, it's just because kids are off school. So this is Velvet Rose. I absolutely adore the packaging on this one. This has loads and loads of shimmer in there, so I think that's probably why I haven't reviewed it yet. But again, if you want me to review it, just let me know. Then we have Wild Love, which I've never used, but it's a good dupe to me for the Naked, I think it's gold palette. There's a lot of gold colours in here, and I love this palette. There's a nice black there. Then we have Tropical Storm, and I've not used this palette again. Then we have the Cool Smoke palette, which is literally a very grungy, cool toned palette, and I really would love this for like a lovely like grunge look. Nude Basics. Now, I've done a video on this, and I love this palette. Or have I? No, I don't think I have. This is clean. Well, I'm not sure. If I have, I'll link it below. I'm going to try and link all my Primark palette review videos below. Then we have Purple Mist, which has a few more purples in there, It actually has a lot more purples in there than the Violet Haze palette, and I actually might do a tutorial on that one next. Gold Rush, and I have used this palette and I adore this palette. Rule Breaker, and I adore the colour on the front of this. And I was not expecting that actually. There's more purples and pinks in this. Actually, for Rule Breaker, I would have thought it would be like darker tones, but I actually like that. Then we've got Dark Wonder. I've not used this, but it looks like a palette that I would really get on with. Naked Truth, I love the packaging on this one. This is when they really upped their game, I think towards the end of last year. And I have done a video on this and I absolutely love this palette. Then we've got Urban Heat, and I've done again a video on this and I love this palette. This one felt a bit more luxurious for Primark. Then we have Urban Muse, which I used to get confused between these two, and I haven't done a video on this just yet, and I have dug in the white, but I probably will love this palette. Cherry Blossom, this video done really well on my channel, so if you haven't seen it, check it out, because this was a video I filmed at 6 o'clock in the morning before work, and completely adore this palette. I love this palette. Then we have Pretty Thing, and I've not used this palette, but I probably will like it. The top row is all shimmers and the bottom row is all mattes, which I'm not mad at. I'm not sure if I've shown this yet, but this is Violet Haze. And this is the palette that I wish there had more purples in. There's only like 3, and it's more neutral tones, which really annoys me. Then we have like these Urban Decay dupes, and this is double take, and there's 2 of them, but they don't really have shades on them. So you've got like more of the nude palette one and then the pink one. And on one side you get like 4 blushes. And I think that's a contour and that is just a powder. So yeah, you get 2 blushes, a powder for under your eyes, and then a contour with the mirror in the middle. And this mirror doesn't come out. The Urban Decay one I think does. This is like more of your smoky colours in here. Then the pink double take Iron Face palette looks like this. You get 4 blushes. I completely adore these blushes, especially these 2. And I have used this before. And those are the shadows. Then we got 2 of these Jenna Frooms eyeshadow palettes, and I have done a review on them. These were £8, which I thought was a bit expensive. They're not available anymore because this Christmas they actually all went on sale, which I thought was, they should have just kept them. This is another one. Ooh. Looks like this. This is the one I tested in that video. And then at the back here, I have 3 of those, how many would be in here? I think like they're 20 shade eyeshadow palettes. So I have these were £8, and this is what Cool Suede looks like. I haven't actually used this just yet. I need to get back into using these. Then we have Rose Quartz, and I love the names that are in these palettes. So you have like Rosewood, Bronze Taupe, Moulin Rouge, Pink Limit. The names are lovely. This one, Wild Romance. Now I think there actually is another palette that I haven't been able to get, and it's more of like an autumn one. And then along this row here we have all of these little small palettes, and this is the Peach Dream one. Then we have the Amber Passion, Soft Camo, Jewel Glow. This is my favourite, Taupe Treasure. I think I've got this in the old packaging as well. This one is Ruby Velvet. I haven't used this one, but this looks like a palette I'd really enjoy. The last 2 is Nude Addiction, which I love the look of this palette. There's literally 5 shimmers in here and 4 mattes, but I feel like it doesn't matter with these little palettes because you can do a lot with them. And then we have Smoke Out, which is a lovely smoky palette, which reminds me of the bigger version. And then in these colourful packaging ones, we have like Rich Jade. Is a lovely green one, and I can't wait to test that one. I feel like I'm getting a bit more into colour, as much as I more prefer neutrals, but I am getting into them. And this is the Ultraviolet. This has got so many pinks and purples in, like that's what a purple palette should look like in my eyes. Then we've got two of these Beauty Quad eyeshadows, and you've got like one in pink, one in white. I haven't used these, I just actually have them as a collector's item. There's a mirror there, but they literally just have like 4 shades. And the white one actually has a mixture of mattes to shimmers, whereas the other one doesn't. Then we have one of these Leopard Luxe palettes, and this came out in a collection, and it's literally just got 4 shimmers in there and 5 mattes. My hand's a bit shaking, I'm sitting on a nerve. I don't know if anyone remembers these, but these were the old 9 pan shadow and shade palettes, and this again is called the Smoky Edit, and this is a very like cool toned smoky palette. Then we have the peach one, which I've used this and loved this. And then this is the matte one. Then this came out, I think it was part of that Leopard collection, and these are just 2 little eyeshadows. Now this is the shade Ambush, and it's just a dark khaki colour. This is the shade Lure, which is just a gold colour. Then we're on to these ones, and this is the Naturally Nude palette, and I seem to have a smashed one, which I really hate smashed eyeshadows. Then we have the Midnight Mauve palette. This is my favourite one out of the 2. I looked everywhere for this palette when it came out. Then at the back here we just have these little duos, and this was the Nude Glow collection. So this is in Trophy, which has got a nice peach and a nice bronze. This is Goddess, which has a nice brown and a pink colour. They all have like a matte and a shimmer. Then we have Slay, which is a pale pink with a shimmer pink. And Quartz, which is a matte toned brown with a like yellowy bronzy shade. And then I just have 2 doubles, sadly. So these are from the Diamond collection. So I haven't actually used these, so they're still sealed. This is the Global Glow. This is Luna. Quartz, they do like to reuse their names. And Embark. Then we have some of the Christmas ones, and this come out not last Christmas, 2018 at Christmas, and this is Cashmere, Crimson, and Nutmeg. Golden Rose range, and we have 2 shades here in 101, which is just an icy colour, and 133, which is just this khaki green colour. So then we have these Glitter Bomb palettes, and I have one in the black shade and one in like the dark fuchsia pink shade. On the back these say they're bio glitter and they're cruelty free. This is the black one. And these are like cream shades. And this is the pink one. Again, it's got some of those green cream shades in there as well. Desert Queen palette, and these are quite hefty. And look at that. I actually like keeping these for packing on glitter shades. And there is a lovely array of like pinks in here, golds, a yellow and orange. I really like that. And again, this is another heavy one. This is Fierce. And this is they keep closing. So this is a face palette, and I remember loving this. You've got your contour bronzers, more bronzers, and then your one highlight shade. So this is the next drawer, and it shouldn't take too long to get through this because there's not as much as the last one packed into one drawer. So in here, the first thing I'm going to pull out is this Snow White palette, and this is amazing. Again, this is probably more of a collector's item for me. It's got the lovely mirror, the roses. It's like a book, and I really love this. Then someone has actually asked me to do a review on this, and I am going to get around to it. And this is the Masterclass palette, and I think this is meant to be like a Morphe dupe. I'm just not sure which one, but once I find out, I want to get the Morphe one and dupe them. Then we have a little Lion King palette, if I can open it. And this has got like a lovely mirror with like 4 shimmers. Then we have 2 of these nudes palette, and this is the glow edition, so this was the second one that they came out with. And it's just a wonderful palette with 28 shades. This was the original palette. So again, I bought this palette more for collectors. This is the, I think the 50-year anniversary of Primark, and it actually says I only came in for socks. And there's 50 shades in here, and I haven't used this again, so if you want me to, just let me know. These are like more of the collector's stuff. Well, I collect a lot. This is the Ursula palette. It's a very dinky palette. Then we've got like this Minnie Mouse box eyeshadow and highlighter palette. So you've got the eyeshadows in there, and then when you pull it out, you've got 2 highlights, one a darker one and one a pinky one. And then we've got this You Are Magic Minnie Mouse palette, and I think this opens weirdly. Can't remember. Oh no. I have done a review on this palette. You get a blush topper in my eyes, and then a bronze highlight, and all these eyeshadows. These palettes are new. These are the Colour Artistry palettes, and these were £5. So I have the amber one with the mirror, and it just looks like that. I bought 2 of each by mistake. So this is the Nude Silk palette, which is more of like your cool toned neutrals. Again, these are more newer palettes. These are the colour grid ones, and none of these have names. So you've got like your cool toned grungy one, warm tone like amber looking one, and then like your matte neutrals. And these came out at Christmas last year. So this is the Hypnotic palette. See, I'm talking too much. And I love this because they're all squares. They're all named on the palette. And I thought that was a step up for Primark. Then we've got the Storm palette, which again is in the same kind of layout. Then we've got one of their newer ones that came out, I think January, which is the Summer Storm palette. So this one I haven't done a review on just because it came out just before lockdown, and so I wasn't sure whether to do a review on it. But if you want the review, just let me know. I'm hoping this is all in focus, but who remembers these Master Eye palettes? Now this is more of like your neutral one, which I used so many times. Just looks like that. Then you've got Angel Eyes, which I have never opened, so I should get opening this. And again, this is another Master Eye palette, but this again has more burgundy shades in. This is more of a me palette. Oh, I did a review on this. This is the Black Cherry palette, and I absolutely adore this. This came out before Christmas, and it's in the same kind of packaging as that summer one. But I really did like this, but it just wasn't as pigmented as some of Primark's palettes usually are. These are really old when I first started buying makeup from Primark. This is the Exotic palette. Again, never used. That's from the same, you know the big nude palette that I just showed you in this drawer? This is the same one. It's a nude palette. I love that it's got a cool tone pink and purple. This is old. This is the Bronze Shade and Shimmer palette, and I used this once. You wouldn't tell, but I have used this once. And this is even older. This is the Eye Candy. And I've never used this. I feel like we should have a count of how many times I say I've never used this. Last palette, and this is Gold Rush. Wow, that was probably a lot of talking. My mouth is quite dry now. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and there will be another one there'll be 3 more this week, so stay tuned for that. Bye guys.